We'll do this review today. The test is worth several points, and I'll tell you that later. Okay, here we go. We're going to start with Lauren today, because I really like the name Lauren. Who was a private in the British Army that was sent out by General Thomas Gage as a spy to verify rumors of colonial stockpiling of weapons and ammunition? Who was that? John Howe. Very good. So you could either asterisk that in your notes, or you could highlight it, or that type of thing. And only study the things that are highlighted for the test. Okay, Sage. The colonists referred to themselves as patriots. What did the British government call them?
Rebels.
Rebels. That's exactly right, rebels. Kayla? It was General Howe's intention to secure colonial supplies of ammunition and weapons at Concord, along with the capturing of which two influential members of the Continental Congress? He was going to capture two as well. Besides secure the ammunition and weapons at Concord, he was going to try to kidnap or capture two colonial leaders. Who were they?
Samuel Adams and John Hancock.
Samuel Adams and John Hancock. Very good. Josh? As the British marched toward Concord, they came through the town of Metatomi, right past the house of a retired soldier, 78-year-old Samuel Whittemore. Some call it Metominee too. It's pronounced different ways. Metominee, Metatomi. Okay. Tristan, when word came out that the Redcoats were marching on Lexington and Concord, who did Dr. Joseph Warren send out into the night to warn the colonists that the regulars were coming?
Paul Revere and William Dawes Jr.
Very good. Paul Revere and William Dawes Jr. JC, who were these two men joined by on their ride to Concord, who was actually visiting his fiancée, and he was on a hot date that night?
Samuel Prescott.
Samuel Prescott. Just got off a hot date and ended up joining the ride, okay? Now, during their ride to Concord, that would be Revere, Dawes, and Prescott, who was captured by the British, Pete? Okay, who was thrown from his horse and had to walk home, Macklin? Oh, he got captured. Who got thrown from his horse and had to walk home?
Dawes.
William Dawes. And who actually delivered the news to the people of Concord, Emily?
Prescott.
Prescott. No, the differentiation of those, please. Okay. Maddie, at the standoff between British forces and the Massachusetts militia outside of Lexington, who ordered the colonial Minutemen to hold their fire?
John Parker.
John Parker, very good. He was the leader of the colonial Minutemen. Nice job. Dalton, when a shot was fired by someone on either side in that little bit of a skirmish outside Lexington, which British major responded with a barrage of redcoat bullets at the colonial militia? In other words, who was leading the British soldiers at the time of that conflict outside Lexington? John Pitcairn. Right. Pitcairn. Pitcairn. Make sure that, yeah, a lot of Johns. Make sure you know how to spell that tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, I have
Brady, who was the man from Virginia who represented the radicals at the Second Continental Congress, and he called for independence from Britain by saying, "Give me liberty or give me death"? Who said that? Okay. Well, God bless you. Shh. Who from Virginia represented the radicals at the Second Continental Congress, calling for independence from Britain by stating, "Give me liberty or give me death." You know, there's a lot of Johns and a lot of Henrys. Siobhan, help out, Mr. I don't know what I'm doing today. Patrick Henry. Now, since there's other Henrys and Johns, we want Patrick and Henry tomorrow. Okay, both, Patrick Henry. Okay, this is an interesting question for naming. Where was the area that Dr. Joseph Warren ordered 1,000 men to dig fortifications to prepare for the British assault on Charleston, Massachusetts?
Where he ordered them, or were they actually?
Where he ordered.
He ordered them to do it on Breedsville.
That's very good. And where'd they end up, was that right? No, he ordered them to do it on Bunker Hill, and they did it on Breeds Hill. Now, the reason that was so crucial is because on Breeds Hill, the colonial cannon fire could reach the ships in the harbor. And so the British saw that as a tremendous act of aggression. And that's why they acted so quickly to assault Breeds Hill, which eventually led to fighting on Bunker Hill also. It's called the Bunker of Breeds Bunker Hill, or the Battle of Bunker Breeds Hill, depending on how history books portray it. It should be, in my mind, the Battle of Breeds, parentheses, Bunker Hill, because the first assault was on Breeds Hill. So make sure you understand that, okay? Taylor, my dear, who was the former New England slave who fought bravely at the Battle of Bunker or Breeds Hill in June of 1775? Former New England slave. He wasn't a rich man.
Oh.
Taylor? What? I can't believe you don't have it in there.
I should.
Well, sure you should. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Where are you at here? Well, I don't know your notes. Oh, well, who is it, Ivan?
Samuel Ford.
How about your close? Salem Ford. Make sure you know Salem and Ford. Salem Ford. Okay. Taylor, I'm going to give you a chance to totally redeem yourself here. Who stated this at Bunker Hill? I hope I shall die up to my knees in blood. Who said that? Joseph Warren. Very good. You totally redeemed yourself. Harris? What was the Battle of Moores Creek Bridge also referred to in American history?
The Lexington and Concord.
Very good. The Lexington and Concord of the South. Morgan? Thomas Paine, that famous British writer that came to America in 1774, authored a radical pamphlet that was entitled what? Common Sense. Very good. Okay, really making somebody Caitlin Sherman. This is pretty special. You're decked out for this, and I want some enthusiasm.
Okay.
Thomas Paine stated in his writings, "The period of debate is closed. Arms, as the last resource, must decide this contest. Everything that is right or reasonable pleads for separation. The blood of the slain, the weeping voice of nature cries,
'Tis time to part.
'Tis time to part." Make sure you have it exactly like that. 'Tis time to part. Very good. Keisha, my dear, on June 7th, 1776, what was the guy's name from Virginia that introduced a resolution in the Second Continental Congress that declared that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states?
Richard Henry Lee.
Richard Henry Lee. That's why we gotta get our Henrys straight. Elliot? Give me one committee member responsible for writing the Declaration of Independence.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson took the easy way out, didn't he? Cherith, give me another one. Ben Franklin. Okay, give me another one, Casey.
Roger Sherman.
Roger Sherman, very good. Elise, give me another one. Robert R. Livingston, and give me the last one, if you would, Olivia. John Adams. You're going to need to know one of those, but I'm not going to tell you which one. So in essence, you kind of need to know them all. Because it'll be besides so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, who else was on the committee? There you go. All right, let's see, where are we at? Dane, who was the president of the Continental Congress who signed the Declaration of Independence in bold, large strokes so that the King of England would have no trouble reading his signature?
John Hancock.
John Hancock. Very good. Okay, Rasmussen,
Henry.
give me one of the practical advantages that the colonists would have by declaring their independence from Great Britain, according to Thomas Paine. Yeah! Rasmussen is coming through after a slow start. Give me another one, Macklin.
What was the question?
What was the question? Give me one practical advantage that the colonists would have by declaring their independence from Great Britain, according to Thomas Paine. Brady fired up and said that if we declare our independence, captured patriots could not be executed. They had to be treated as prisoners of war. What's another advantage?
They wouldn't, like, they could make their own rules.
That's a really bad answer.
Wait, isn't it,
Ivan, let's see if you can do better than that. You could not do worse.
isn't it where all countries could help the colony or something like
Ah,
that? No, right?
that's a half-fast answer.
I know, it's like,
Yeah,
where-
JC, throw one on us here.
Alright, the colonial government can seize all the property of anyone who is loyal to the British.
Very good. That was off what these two
That's
were
what
trying
I
to say.
meant.
No, you
wait, I got it,
you-
I got it.
Watch out, Ivan's got it.
I got it.
Hey, Ivan, let's hear the third one.
Have a better chance of coordinating from other countries.
Not other countries.
Or from France and Paris.
Why?
Huh?
Why would that make any difference? Why would that make any difference? Why? Hey, why would that make any difference?
Because they wouldn't help because they're part of Great Britain and they don't let each other.
You're close. You're close. Don't help him out with some details here.
They didn't want to help rebels, they wanted to help
Yeah, pretty close. Basically what they're saying is that if they declared their independence, Great Britain would be at war with the colonies, and France and Spain would be much more eager to support a war against Great Britain by anybody because it was going to weaken Great Britain. So there you go. Now, keep in mind for tomorrow, what is the definition, Ms. Wassam, of diminish? Okay, if you don't get yourself going and you don't quit sticking your face in my camera, your chances to pass in this class are going to diminish.
Go away. Get smaller.
Get smaller and smaller, there's not much of a chance. So, keep that word in mind for tomorrow. Diminish means to make smaller. Okay, keep that in mind for tomorrow. All right, did we get all three? We did, didn't we? Perfect. Okay, Dane. Go back to the Battle of Breed's Hill, or Bunker Hill, and tell me the British casualties compared to the American casualties in that conflict. American casualties compared to the British casualties in the Battle of Breed's or Bunker Hill.
There were 150 Americans killed and 1,054 British killed.
That's the perfect answer. That is the perfect answer. Now, here's what the question says. List the British casualties compared to the American casualties as a result of the Battle of Breed's or Bunker Hill, and has 22, 23. So you can't just put 115 and 1,054. You would have to put 115 Americans, 1,054 British, just so we know. All right, Siobhan, my dear, give me one reason why several colonists in America were cautious about a war with Great Britain. Just give me one reason why there were several colonists in America that were a little bit cautious about going to war with Great Britain.
Great Britain protected them from
Not exactly. Tell me that one again.
Foreign.
Okay, there. Great Britain protected the colonies from foreign enemies. That would be one. Okay. Tristan, give me another one.
Their laws maintain order.
Yeah, the British were maintaining law and order in the colonies, right? Macklin?
Thought they were scared of what the British would do if they lost.
That's right. They were scared what the ramifications would be if they lost the war with Great Britain. Might even be executed for treason. More detail, the better, right? Okay, we still have another one. Delaney, my dear. I'm gonna let you do the last one. She'll pay attention to what she says, so you okay?
No, we're at, sorry, I got a bit of honey.
A bit of honey. Do you have any left?
He does.
Really?
I'm not getting them in class. He's the one that brings the popsicles.
But
Boy, we've got a debate going here. So how about the question at hand? What have we said? Let's review for, what's one thing we said? Who answered the first one? Siobhan said what? That Britain was protecting the colonies from foreign enemies. And then, who was the next one to answer? Oh, Tristan said,
maintain the order.
maintain, don't just say maintain order, say the British maintained law and order in the colonies. Macklin said,
They were scared of what would happen if they lost.
right, which would include the possibility of,
Execution.
because of treason. Okay, what's the next one, dear?
They'd been a part of Great Britain forever, and there was just resistance to take that final step towards independence because they were like, been too long. Right?
That's right. It's like when you bust out and go to college, and your parents take you to college, and they're all crying and everything else. And that's right. Do you think is your parents gonna cry when you go to college? We're doing that. You guys remember Mr. Ballin, don't you?
Yep.
We're glad to have you back. He's going back to school, so if you think you got a Baptist test tomorrow, he could probably tell you about the one he took today.
Space?
What time we start?
Put your test over tomorrow, folks.
Okay, Mr. Ballin's asking a question.
What is your test over?
The American colonies discovered
Now, what they're doing,
Is this U.S. history?
this is the AP US History 1 with the junior. What the question at hand here, just so you know, is there were many American colonists that were really kind of cautious and apprehensive to actually declare independence and go to war with Great Britain. And there were 5 reasons why. We've done 4. So for Mr. Ballin and you, let's go through them again. Siobhan, what was one reason they were apprehensive?
Great Britain protected the colonies from foreign enemies.
Very good. Who gave me the second one? Tristan? Okay.
Britain made laws that maintained law and order in the colonies.
Very good. Macklin fired up with the third one.
The colonies were scared that if they lost the war, Britain could execute them for treason.
And then Delaney came up with a great one.
They'd been part of Great Britain for so long that they were hesitant to make the final step towards independence.
And we compared that to when Delaney goes to college, her parents will cry and take her there. And now Elliot is going to come up with the last reason.
Okay, so many of the colonists saw the mobs and stoning and dark feathering of loyalists and such, and they were scared that mob would take over.
Yeah, they were scared the mob rule would take over. How about a nice hand for that? Yeah,
Thank you all so much. Take care of yourselves. Don't ever forget, you're never too old to go to college.
nice. Okay, well, you're going to need to know 2 of those, but you might not know which 2.
Oh, you're killing me. Oh.
Emily, would you rather me just ask you for 2?
Yes.
Okay.
You really?
The gift that keeps on giving. That's actually what I had planned.
Okay.
Okay. Now, on the other side of things, Casey Wasson, there were a lot of colonists that thought it was a good idea to declare war, or declare independence, go to war with Great Britain. What was one of those reasons why they thought it was a good idea?
Because they thought that the British were like overstepping their rights.
Right, that's pretty good. The British were violating their rights with all these unbelievable laws they were passing. But what was the other reason, Olivia, that they thought, well, we might as well go to war because we've already...
So the blood had already been spilled.
We already spilled blood in the conflict. Okay, there you go. Now, let's talk about true or false questions before, because I'm not going to give you any review on these. You're just going to have to read 4 questions and decide whether you think they're true or false. But I'm going to tell you a story, because I'm a storyteller. Last year, I took my test to be a basketball varsity official. 100 true or false questions on the rules. Okay? Do you know that if I would have marked true for all 100 questions, I would have gotten a 70% and passed the test? Which tells you what, Dalton? Well, kind of. If you have a hesitation, you might. But whenever you're writing true or false questions, it's much harder to write a question that is, or a statement that is false than it is true. And so normally, a majority of your true and false questions are going to be true, normally. That doesn't mean somebody might not try to trick you and make them all false or whatever. Now, when I give you true or false, the date will never make it true or false. So you don't look at, oh, that's not the right date. Whatever date's in there will be true. That'll never make the true or false question either false or true, the date. Okay? There'll always be something else in there that'll make the difference. Now, I took a graduate level course at Montana State on school law when I was younger, and every day we had to read an assignment on school law, and every day when we came there, the next day, the professor gave us a 10-question true or false quiz. Every day, that's all we did. He would lecture, give us a reading, give us a true or false quiz. Next day he came, blah, blah, blah. Now, everybody was a little nervous about that, and smart